Is the screen visible? हेलो, ये व्हाइट
Yes,
स्क्रीन
sir.
दिख रही है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we will discuss about the setting of the relay, that is the application of the inverse definite minimum time relay. Application of inverse definite minimum time relay on the distribution feeder. So we will discuss this, and this is the system in which we have the source and we have the three buses in that, bus A, bus B, and bus C, and two relays are there, RA and RB, and the minimum and maximum value of the bus A, bus B, and bus C are also given. That is, we have to, what we have to do, we have to check the settings of these IDMT relays. Now, what is the purpose of this RB? The purpose of RB is to provide the primary protection to the section BC. And the purpose of this RA is to provide the primary protection to the section A, B, and backup protection to the BC. That is the this purpose of this B relay B is to protect BC, and the purpose of relay A is to protect AB. However, A also provide the backup protection for the this BC. Now, as we know that we have to start the setting of the relay from the tail end. So first, what we have to do, we have to start the process at the tail end. Start the process at the tail end of the system. That is why we are doing at the tail end, because the tail end system doesn't have to coordinate with any other relay. So we start with the tail end of the relay, that is at the relay B. That is we start at this. So first what we do, first part is that we have to decide the CT ratio and plug setting. The first point is that we have to decide the CT ratio, that is the what is the CT ratio of the this relay, and then the plug setting, that what is the plug setting of that particular relay. So as we know that at the relay B, the maximum load current, assuming the 25% overload. So this we have the maximum load current which is taken care by the relay B is 80. So what we have to do at relay B, the maximum load current we have to see with 25% overload. With 25% overloading. Now, from this figure, you will see that the maximum load current is 80 amperes and 25% overload we have to take. So the total current at the relay B is 80 plus 25% of 80 equals to 100 ampere. which is equals to 100 ampere. Now, let us assume that the relay which is used, the relay B is the 1 ampere relay B. So assume 1 ampere relay is used. One ampere relay is used, and let us suppose that CT ratio that we select is that is it will be 100:1, because we have the maximum load current of 100, and if we assume 1 ampere relay, then CT ratio what we have to select is 100:1. Now this is the selection of the CT ratio. Now again, second point, let's the plug setting is done at the 100%. Let plug setting is done at 100%, that is we have 100% rated current in that, then in that very case the plug setting will be 1 ampere. So this is the case for this relay B. What we have, first we have to decide the CT ratio and how this CT ratio and plug setting. So CT ratio is decided based on that maximum load current. So in this case, the maximum load current is 80, and overloading that we have assumed is 25%, it is 100 ampere, and 1 ampere relay that we have used. So CT ratio we have to select is 100:1, and plug setting also, if 100% is done in that very case, then plug setting equals to this 1 ampere. Now let's see at the relay A. This is at the relay B. Now, if you take the case of the relay A, in the relay A, we will have the load current of 160 degree, and it also acts as a backup relay for this section also. So it will be 160 plus 80, and 160 plus 80 and 25% overload. So it means that it will cater the, that is we can say that the maximum load current at relay A, assuming 25% overload. Load. So it will be 160 plus 80 and plus 25% of 160 plus 80, and it comes out to be 300 ampere. It comes out to be 300 amperes. Now, as per the 300 amperes, and if we assume the 1 ampere relay, and so the CT ratio should be selected as 300:1. The main idea is that you must know the load current, you must know what kind of relay you are using, that what is the rating of that particular relay, and depending upon that, you have to select the CT ratio. So this is the first designing part. So if the plug setting is similar, is the case also in this case. So if the plug setting is 100%, then in that very case, you can have the plug setting of 1 ampere. This is how you can select the plug setting and this CT ratio. So the first part is the selecting the CT ratio and then this plug setting. Now, second part is that the deciding the time multiplier setting. That is part B. Deciding the time multiplier setting. So, as per the previous lecture, also I told you that we have to select the we have to do the setting from the tail end of the relay. In this case, the tail end of the relay is RB. Why we are doing from the tail end of the relay? Because this relay doesn't have to coordinate with any other relay. So that's why we will do the setting from. We will start the setting from the tail end of the relay. So deciding the time multiplier setting and starting from the remote relay, that is RB. And as you know that the RB doesn't have to maintain the selectivity with any other relay. So it can be made to operate fastest. So no selectivity is maintained with any other relay. So fastest. So let us suppose that TMS of this RB is selected as 0.1. So to maintain the selectivity, this is the point 1. Point 2, to maintain the selectivity between RA and RB, following constraints must be met. As I already told you in the last lecture, to maintain the selectivity, this constraint must be met. Which constraint? Operating time of R, that is operating time of RA for the fault at B is equals to operating time of relay RB for the fault at B plus circuit breaker time of this circuit breaker time of B, that is circuit breaker time, we can write it as T, that is T circuit breaker time at the fault at B plus overshoot time on this of A. So this must be maintained for the selectivity. Now, as we know, as we are using the IDMT relay, so in case of the IDMT relay, the operating time for the maximum fault beyond B can be found as the equation that we have discussed in the last lecture also. That is RB, time RB is given by, that is operating time of this relay, because we are using the IDMT relay. So this operating time of RB is given by, instead of that we can write here RP. So that terminology would be clear. CB, that's okay. Then RA. Okay. For the fault at V, we can. So it is given by 0.14 TMS time multiplier setting divided by PSM 0.02 minus 1. So this is the operating time of the relay B. Now, as we know from this, also this diagram also, we will have the maximum and the minimum values are given. So we have the maximum value of the fault current is 300 ampere. Minimum value of the fault current is 200 ampere. Then maximum value at bus A is this 4000 ampere and this 3500 ampere. So here we have 3000 ampere and 2000 ampere. So this is the fault current. Now the maximum fault current at B is given to be 300 ampere. This is given on the primary side, and on the secondary side, since we have taken the ratio for the relay B 100:1, on the secondary side, the maximum fault current is 30 ampere. So this is on the primary side, and this is on the secondary side because we have chosen the ratio of 100 already in the part A. Now, since the plug setting is done at 100 ampere, so plug setting multiplier, in this case, it is I relay, current across the relay, divided by the plug setting. So current across the relay is 30 ampere divided by plug setting is 1, which is equals to 30. So plug setting multiplier is, in that very case, is 30. Now, second is the time setting multiplier. We have to calculate the time setting multiplier. First, we have calculated the plug setting multiplier for a design. And second, we have to calculate the time setting multiplier. We know the value of the plug setting multiplier. Now, what we have to do, we have to put the value of the plug setting multiplier in this formula. We can get the value of the time, this whatever the time is required. So this is given by since TMS, time setting multiplier, in this case for the relay B, we have assumed in first section as equals to 0.1 because we don't have to coordinate with any other relay. So we have the TMS of 0.1, PSM of 30. Finally, we are getting the TRB, that is time for the relay to operate, is equals to 0.14 as per the formula, 0.14 TMS divided by PSM 0.02 minus 1. So TMS that we have chosen is 0.1 divided by PSM is 30. This one 0.02 minus 1. So we'll have 0.19. It is approximately, you can assume as 0.2 second. So we have this time of this, you can say that what is the exact time of this to operate, for this relay to operate. So this is equals to 0.2 second. And let us assume, as you know, the total time is the summation of these three. Total, this we have calculated, and this we will assume, and this also we can take some percentage of that. So if you see total time, that is, let us assume the circuit breaker time of B is equals to 0.5 seconds. So it is 0.5 seconds. So total time is given by total time, that is TRB plus TCB, circuit breaker time, breaker across B, equals to summation of two, that is 0.2 plus 0.5 equals to 0.7. So 0.7 seconds it takes. Now it is the desired operating time for RA. However, as per the previous lecture and discussion also, some overshoot time is also there. Let the overshoot time be 10%. Let it be 10% of already whatever time is given. So let it be represented by this overshoot time is represented by T overshoot A. So which is equals to 0.07, that is 10% of 0.7. So the total time required for the relay A, time required for relay A to operate for maximum fault at P. Why maximum fault? Because we have assumed 300 ampere in 3000 ampere, sorry, in that case we have done the setting based on that for the maximum fault at P. So this is the TRA maximum fault at B 0.2 plus 0.7 plus 0.07, so equals to 0.77 seconds. So this is the actually the time required for the relay A to operate. This is the time required for the relay A to operate for the maximum fault at B. Now, this is about this is about this whatever the time required and whatever the CT ratio. Now, as we know, this is for the relay B, and now for the relay B, we know about the operating time RA. So, since TMS of RA we cannot assume because RA has to coordinate with other relays also. So, this is unknown for us. Time setting multiplier is this unknown for us. So, we cannot assume that. Now, we can say that the TMS of RA can be found this TMS of RA can be found by the this equation already given, that is we will have the equation of TRA, that is whatever the equation is this equation is given, from this we can, that is TRA, we can for TRB we can replace it by TRA we already know that 0.77, so we can find out. So TR and this, as you know, that instead of TRA, we can write 0.77 equals to 0.14 TMS divided by PSM 0.02 minus 1. So we have to calculate the TMS, time setting multiplier, and plug setting multiplier. As we already know, the current across maximum current across the relay, which is 3000 across this relay is 3000 ampere, and the plug setting in this case is you can say is 1. And as you know that in case of the relay A, the ratio and the CT ratio is 300 is to 1. So finally what we are getting, so current across the relay is 3000. We have to calculate the PSM is 3000 because we are considering the maximum current at the relay B. We are doing the setting as per the maximum current at the relay B, not the relay A. So divided by 3000 is to divided by 1, that is the CT ratio, that is we have here I relay and plug setting. We have the plug setting, and finally we are getting the PSM of 10. Substituting this value in this equation, we are getting the, and substituting the value in this equation, because TMS we have to get, TSM we are already getting. So finally what we are getting, that is TMS time multiplier setting equals to 0.14. Okay, it is 0.77, not 14, because here we have 0.77, so it is 0.77, then 10, 0.02, plug multiplier setting you already know that, minus 1 divided by 0.14, and finally we are getting the value as 0.26. So this finishes the setting of the relay. So how you have to do the setting of the relay? We can verify that after finishing the setting of the relay, we have to do the verification process. Now, how to do the setting of the relay? First, every details are given in that. That is the maximum current in that. First, we have to select the CT ratio, which is based on the maximum load current and what relay we are using. We have to calculate the plug setting based on that. Then we have time multiplier setting. We already know the time multiplier setting we assume for the relay, which is at the tail end, because it doesn't have to coordinate with any other relay. And based on that, we have to calculate this time multiplier setting. We know PSM, we know, because I relay divided by plug setting. Then time we calculate, and the total time for the relay A we can calculate, which is the time which is the summation of this time for the relay B to operate, plus circuit breaker time plus overshoot time. And after that, what we have to do, we have to calculate the TMS for the relay A, because for the relay A we don't know about the time. However, we don't know about the TMS. However, we actually know about the time, and we also know about the PSM. So this is the setting of the relay. Now what we have to do, now we have to find out the this verify the selectivity for the minimum fault at bus B. So we have to see whether this setting of the relay is maintained for the minimum fault at bus this B. For we have to verify that if this setting is maintained for minimum fault at bus B. So now we have to see that what is the minimum fault current at the bus B. So from this diagram, which is given, the maximum and the minimum value is given. So minimum fault current in this case is given as 200 ampere. So based on the 200 ampere, we have to verify whether whatever the setting we have chosen is the correct setting or not. So how we can do it? Now this one. So as we know, the minimum fault current at the bus B is 2000 ampere. And since the we have chosen this current, this ratio of 1 into this 100 is to 1 for the relay, and this for the relay B. So obviously you can say the relay current at B is 20 ampere, because so we have chosen the ratio of 100 is to 1. And plug setting we have already chosen as 1 ampere. And if the plug setting of 1 ampere, then in that very case, the plug setting multiplier is equals to I relay divided by plug setting, which is equals to 20. And for this particular relay, For the relay A, we have already chosen the TMS of 0.1. So we have chosen the TMS of 0.1. Now, based on that, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the based on that what we have to calculate. We have to calculate the time that we have done in case of a relay A. We have to calculate the time. So based on that, we have to calculate the time, that is T R B, minimum fault current at B, for minimum fault current at B, which is, let us suppose it is given by TRB, and as we know the formula of that, that is 0.14, 0.14, TMS is 0.1, PSM is in this case is 20, and then 0.02 minus 1, which is equals to 0.226. So it is coming out to be 0.226, and as we already know, the circuit breaker time is 0.5, we have assumed, that is T. Circuit breaker B equals to 0.5 seconds, and the total time, expected operating time of A is given by it is equals to this summation, that is 0.226 plus 0.5 plus the 10% of this total, that is 0.1, 0.5 plus 0.226. So this is coming out to be 0.7986, which is approximately 0.8 seconds. So this is actually the operating time of relay A. Now let us find the actual operating time of A for the minimum fault current at B. We have calculated, as we have done for the relay A, all the particulars are there. So we have to find the time for the relay B that we have calculated, that is 0.226, then circuit breaker time 0.5 second, and expected operating time equals to 0.8 second approximately. Now we have to find the actual operating time of A for the minimum fault at B. So as we know, the minimum fault current is 2000 ampere. And relay A, the relay A current corresponding to this, as you know, the ratio is 3000 is to 300 is to 1. So it is 2000 divided by 300, which is equals to 6.66 ampere. And since plug setting in this case also we have assumed as 1 ampere, and PSM equals to I relay. I relay is given by that is what is the current across the relay, that is this one divided by 1 ampere. So the plug setting multiplier in this case will be you can say that 6.66 ampere. And for the relay RA, as we have already selected the relay RA, the TMS would be whatever we have done in the setting case. The relay RA, the time multiplier setting, we have calculated as 0.26. So for relay RA, TMS time multiplier setting is 0.26. Now, based on that, we can find out the operating time of RA for the minimum fault at bus B. So all the particulars are with us. So all the things are with us. So we have to find the TRA, that is the minimum fault at B, for minimum fault at B. As we know that equation, that is we have to calculate that, it is based on that equation, that is 0.14, and then we have the PSM 0.26, then we have this PSM is 6.66 raised to power 0.02 minus 1, which is equals to approximately 0.94. Now, this is you can say that this is 0.94 is greater than the minimum operating time of that is 0.8. Minimum operating time is 0.8. So this, you can say that this 0.94 is actually the operating time, and this is greater than the minimum operating time. The minimum operating time we have selected, we have calculated is 0.8, which is required to maintain the selectivity. That is that from these settings the selectivity is maintained. Because of that, the selectivity is maintained between the relay A and the relay B. That is what we are getting. We have already got with the minimum fault this minimum for this setting we already got, that 0.8 second setting we already got for this you can say we have already got the setting, that is expected operating time of day. What is the expected operating time of the A? Now after that, what we have to find, we have to find the actual operating time of A for the minimum fault at B. What is the actual operating time it will take for the minimum fault at B? So this is actually the time which we have calculated based on all the calculations and base that is operating time of the A. However, when the fault occurs at this B, that is minimum fault occurs, we have to assume that the selectivity should be maintained. That is what happens, the time should be greater than this particular time. So if the time should be greater than this particular time, so as a result, what happens, the selectivity between the relay A and the relay B. Now finally, because of that, our setting of the relay is, so our setting of the relay is relay CT ratio, then plug setting, then time multiplier setting. So relay RB, RA as C2 ratio in case of the RB, we all know we have calculated 100 is to 1, 300 is to 1. Plug setting we have assumed 1 ampere, 1 ampere. Time multiplier setting is 0.1 we have assumed for this, and for RA equals to 0.626. So this is how the selectivity is maintained between the relay A and the relay B. Now, if you take the case of this figure, it is actually this figure gives us the this fault clearing time as a function of this fault clearing time as a function of fault location in case of IDMT relays. So, for the some of the general rules that can be inferred from this diagram is that we start the setting from the tail end of the relay. First is the start the setting from the tail end of the relay. We start the setting at the tail of the end of the relay, and the plug setting should be such that it should be greater than, that is, it should be greater than the maximum load current. That is, plug setting should be such that it should be greater than maximum load current, and it should be less than the minimum fault current. So it should be less than the minimum fault current. And then one more point is that the TMS should be decided. TMS, that is time multiplier setting, it should be decided in such a way that the selectivity with the next relay, that is downstream relay, is maintained for the maximum fault current at the beginning of the next section. So it shows that how the selective, here we have, if you have this is the operating time of the relay RB and B, this is the fault location, and this first we have maintained the selectivity between the relay and relay B. So this is the selective time interval between the relay A and the relay B. So these rules are actually applied for a simple system consisting of the two buses. However, it can be same rule can be extended for the n number of buses. Let us suppose that we have n number of buses, then we have to we will extend the same rule for that. That is, same rule has been applied for that, and setting in the same way the setting needs to be done. That is for like if you see, that is the problem is given like this is minimum and the maximum value is given, then the minimum and the maximum value be given, and minimum and the maximum value is given in that very case. And same rule can be applied for the n number of such relays. It means that if we are using the computer, we have to develop the computer algorithm for that to automate the task in case of a large system. If we have the large system, then that thing can be automatically taken care of. This automatically taken care of that algorithm. So this is how the setting of this particular relay can be done. Now one more point is that is plug setting RB should be such that is plug setting of RB, it should be less than the minimum fault current, and it's C and plus overload. And TMS can be set as 0.1 that we have already discussed. These are some points. And plug setting of RA it should be less than the minimum fault current at C, that is this one, and it should be greater than load current of B plus load current of C plus overload. That is B, C plus overload. What we have done the setting for that also. That is one was 160 amperes, another was 80 amperes, and third one is TMS of RA. RB we have assumed. Then TMS of RA that we have already discussed. That is operating time of B plus operating time of relay B, then circuit breaker time of B plus overshoot time of A. So this is all about the setting of the relay, how the setting of whole of the relay can be done. Now, some of the questions which arises out of this lecture. So some of the questions can be, first is the how the setting of this IDMT relay is done. How CT ratio is chosen, and what are the standard rules for setting. And we have done this problem for the distribution feeder. Now, tell me any questions.